Hello everyone. I just thought I'd check whether you can hear me. I'm in Queensland. It's quite warm outside. I'm in the little office which is tucked to the back of my bedroom in this new house I'm living in. Can I just check, please, whether you can hear me? I'm going to talk a little bit about going live and new strategies I have in place, my online counseling and Apple Podcasts. Just checking, are you able to hear me? Is that a yes? Thank you, Rami. Can I just check, Rami, whether you can hear me? Thanks. I haven't gone live on YouTube for a long time. I've spoken to you. Hello, and now everyone's coming on. Hi. Thank you. You can see out the back. I might open the window. Thank you, Johnny. I thought I haven't been live for a long time, so I've decided to start going live again and answer some of your questions. There are so many comments, it is challenging to respond to them. Oh, hello. I'm recognizing some of you now. Hello, Renee. Going live is interesting because there's so many comments and I'm reading the comments at the same time as thinking what I'm going to say. So it's an interesting process. And I'm actually an introvert, quite an introvert. So I'm not really, I'm not extroverted at all. I wanted to talk about my online counseling. Thank you, Rami. Thank you. Hello, doctor. I do online counseling on Simply Book Me. So if you look up Simply Book Me and then Lauren Ostrowski Fenton, I do online counseling. So you've asked about that. Thanks, Selena. Selena. So I wanted to let you know, yes, I do. Okay, some of the questions you ask, I will answer, and some I will not, just due to privacy and respecting people I know. I have spoken about the 4 deaths in 1 year. 2 being my parents, 1 a client was murdered, and the other a friend died during surgery. And after that, a number of things happened. Hello, Molly. The result of that is that I now live in Queensland. My family is in Victoria. I live in Queensland. There are things that have happened. Thank you, Flying Rhino Films. Wow. Oh, Jenny Thompson, you did not offend me. You did not offend me at all. I want to be really clear. Jenny, can you hear me? Can you hear that you didn't offend me? Something has happened in my life that has been incredibly tragic and awful. And the negative of that is that it's painful. The positive is that it is probably the foundation to my ability to counsel, my ability to empathize, my ability, I feel, to read the room and care about other people. With all YouTube or any celebrity status, we need to question what we say. I have had a situation for many years where one person, and sometimes 2, the word would be stalk or troll me. It is quite extraordinary and it's out of the box, and thank you, doctor. It's out of the box and it is traumatizing for me, but at the same time, it is the springboard to my self-awareness and my ability, I consider, to help others. So it's okay. Jenny, can you let me know that you've seen my comment saying you did not offend me, because I want you to know that. I am selective with what I say because people in my life, I want to protect their privacy. I live in far north Queensland. I've travelled up here for respite, and I have moved here. Oh, it's okay, Selena. I experience joy each day, and I'm better off than a lot of people. I want to announce my online counselling. Look up Simply Book Me, and you can book an online session with me. That's the first issue. You can hear Cooper in the background. The second is that I now offer ad-free content on Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts, if you drill into Apple Podcasts and look up my podcast, Sleep Meditation with Lauren Ostrowski Fenton, you can get my content for without ads for $5.99. There is no ongoing commitment. Many of you have asked me about that, so that's why I do that. You can hear cockatoos in the background, and they're very loud. The hyena has asked me the question, are you okay? Yes, I am more than okay. I have lots of amazing friends going out of their way to support me and be a friend to me. I would not be on YouTube if I had not had the experience of the particular person who has done what he has done. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So I'm very grateful for that. I wanted to make comment also on the importance of having downtime each day. So each day, make sure that you, thank you, Hina, take the time to empty your mind. I set my phone for about 5 times a day, where I just turn everything off and I sit in the present moment to value the present moment. Our feelings are often a contrast and only become real in the contrast to other feelings. So we know happiness in contrast to sadness. The breath, or our act of breathing, is a gift. And sometimes we don't truly value that gift because we're so caught up in the busyness of life. So each day I set my phone, and about 5 times for 2 minutes, I sit in the moment without distraction, and I just allow that moment to evolve silently, without even background music. I think this is really important, no matter the mayhem you live in. And I do believe that life is manic. I do believe that there is sudden and unexpected adversity. I believe that life is existential, absurd, and I also believe in synchronicity, that there is a portion of synchronicity throughout our life. There is a stream of synchronicity running through the mayhem of our life. So what do we do with that? There is time to grieve, and there is time to move through grief. It is important not to hold your grief up to the light as defining you. It is important to process your grief in your time, but to process, to move through it. Only you know when this time. Thank you, Jenny. I hope you heard me about what I said before, that you did not offend me. And I'm grateful for your questions. I'm talking about grief. So many of you have sad stories. It's important that we process and live our sad stories without allowing them to define us. One of the gifts, one of the adversities, one of the gifts of my life is having experienced really strong grief and having people in my life who do not see the person I am. Moving through and accepting that has been a gift in my life. Randall Cox says we would love another meditation about sitting in emotion. That is a great idea, Randall. I really like your questions. Jack's Law asks, oh my God, but it builds and builds. And we're talking about emotion. I think it's pertinent to realize that emotion in itself cannot hurt you. It is our processing of the emotion that hurts. I have had a brother take his life. I have had a marriage end. I've had my parents die in a week. I've had someone important to me murdered not that long ago. And I find incredible joy in each day. I shed tears each day, but I feel so much joy. I love this home I'm living in now. I haven't shared the details of what's occurred. I may share some details over time, but I want to emphasize it is possible to move through grief, and there is beauty in grief. Grief allows us, like a potter molds a pot, grief allows us to mold our life in order that we can see life with greater clarity and greater empathy. Jimmy says the reality is we don't get through life without tragedy. It's how we deal with the tragedy that counts. You have been a big help to me dealing with my personal tragedies. Thank you, Jimmy, so much. I would say that all of you have been a big gift to me in dealing with my own tragedies. I would not be on YouTube if it wasn't for the way my marriage ended. I often refer to the ending of my marriage without detail. I am above that experience, or I am beyond that experience. I do not allow it to define me. I meet beautiful people each day, and in North Queensland, Australia is huge. The people in Queensland are so embracing, so expressive, so they wear their heart on their sleeves. They're very different to, thank you, Jenny, to Victorians. So Victorians are like Londoners. Thank you so much, Jenny. Tom has made a mention, I currently am going through narcissistic grief due to my mother's control and constant gaslighting. And Tom talks about his own personal experience. I have experienced narcissism. I have been changed and evolved as a person through experiencing narcissism. I hesitate about using the word narcissism. I use it. I hesitate about using diagnoses. I do use them because we give an experience power when we name it. When we see the complexity of a situation, we disempower that. It's like there is a building block house. We take away the blocks when we see the complexity of experience, when we name it. Any name, it doesn't matter what the name is. You could pluck any out. Narcissistic, bipolar, going no contact, toxic. There is nothing wrong with these words. Nothing wrong with them. But when you label your doing, your behavior with one word, I'm going no contact. There's a time and a place to do this, so please don't misunderstand. I do not disagree with these words. But if you say, I'm going no contact, this relationship is toxic, he or she is narcissistic, again, there is nothing wrong with doing that. But you are full of color. You have so much that makes you. Some of you is strong and resilient. Some of you could have done things differently. That's okay. You are multi-layered. See your multi-layers. When we go, that person's narcissistic, that relationship is toxic, you take your power away and you label something with one word. Nothing is one word, my friend. To truly evaluate and see the color of life, we need to see the rainbow. So use a term such as going no contact and see where it serves you and see where it does not serve you. Naming a relationship as toxic refutes seeing the complexity of that relationship. And I am not trying to see goodness in something that does not bring goodness. I am working towards allowing you to be empowered to see the complexity of human life. In every fire, there is good and there is not good. The word toxic is pop culture. It has no true meaning. Break everything down to behavior and description. If we label anything with one word, that relationship is toxic. I would say, describe the events in that relationship. On Tuesday, the 5th of April, 2021, this occurred in the relationship. This person processed it this way, this person processed it this way. The relationship could be seen from this point of view, or this point of view, or this point of view. I am not trying to turn toxicity into positivity. But in order to see life, see the color in life. I'm looking at doctors. Yes, we've got some comments here about narcissism. And I have experienced narcissism, and it's one of the chief factors that has affected me, saddened me, and allowed me to be the person I am. I wouldn't have done my master's in counselling if it hadn't been for experiencing bipolar person, a person with bipolar with narcissistic themes. So you could say it's been a gift to me. Mariana, okay. Yeah, you've just got M, so it's hard to know. So Mariana, thank you for your comments. The interesting thing about live streaming is that I see your comments for a moment and I've got in my mind what I want to say. I wanted just to touch base with you in this media. I do find live streaming quite challenging because I'm an introvert. I am not, hello Ben, I am not an extrovert. I consider what I'm going to say in my short form content and also there in my long form content. So this, I don't get a lead up. This is it. Whack. We are now live, and that's not my chosen platform, but I think it's one of the important platforms to communicate with you. We're talking about complexity. We're talking about narcissism. We're talking about grief. Let's see what Jack says. There are a lot of monsters in the world or broken people, but it's the ones that now enjoy the pain, and there's that which mess it all up. Okay, I would, Jack uses the word monsters and broken people, and I use the word broken sometimes. I again question when we call someone a monster, and there are monsters. I've shared that my father was a well-known judge, Judge Ostrowski, and he said that what he learned as a judge is some people are innately evil. And as I've shared with you before, my mother believed to always extend compassion. And my father believes some people are innately evil. My experience has been that, yes, there are some people that are innately evil, but we can still choose our response to those people, and we can still choose how to see our life. It's not easy. It doesn't get to a point that we go, okay, I'm going to use this adversity and it's going to be wonderful. It's not necessarily wonderful, and sometimes people that deserve particular karma don't get it. And we need to be happy anyway. We need to find joy in the moment anyway. And this is not about negating the pain. This is not about walking through life going, I will be happy. This is about seeing the colour of life, seeing the rose in the garbage pile, seeing the thorn on the rose, and developing the lens to see life with perspective and realistically. Liverpool. I used to stay in Macclesfield quite a lot when I was younger. I went out with somebody that lives in Macclesfield. Yes, I'm reading Jack's comments. We're talking about language and the power of language. We choose our words, we choose our thoughts, we choose our feelings. However, this is also a process and it is affected by socialization. So if you're traumatized as a child, choice becomes a complicated cognitive function. You may not realize what your choices are, and you may not realize the choices you are attracting. Meditation, or coming back to the moment in each day, where we take that moment to be quiet and sit in the moment, then we can reboot ourselves. Thank you, Jenny. A newly opened flower, a hug for my loved ones. I agree the power of language is very powerful. Yes, I agree with you so much, Jenny. I love seeing a flower open. I love my cup. I love linen upon my bed and a soft pillow. Yes, Dr. Mariana is talking about choice. I went through a stage of studying Glass's choice theory in cognitive behavioral therapy. And I agree with cognitive behavioral therapy. However, I think it is somewhat simplistic because it is based on the foundation or the contention that we choose our feelings and thoughts. We are a complex computer, and trauma can be software that programs us with a script, and we're not aware that our subconscious has a particular script, and we run with that script like a mouse on a treadmill. And it takes reprogramming over time to see that script that we've adopted and to adjust, substitute, reframe that script. So yes, we do choose our thoughts and feelings, and as Dr. Mariana said, it is learned. Trauma can be particularly ingrained and we can unlearn it. However, that does not, I don't want to suggest that somebody processing trauma, that it's a simplistic process. Often trauma is never truly processed. We become a new person with each experience, and the old person, the old version of us, that's gone forever. The criticism of CBD. I did my master's, thank you, Mariana. I did my master's at Monash in Clayton, and I love the sense of cognitive behavioral therapy. But if you've met or experienced or counseled somebody that's experienced trauma, and I've worked in jails with people that are deemed unfit to play, and you talk to these people and you listen to what they've experienced as a child, the programming of our psyche is so deep. Our subconscious is difficult to rewrite, is difficult to change. How do we do so? In so many different ways. Reframing, changing, learning, practice, substitution, so many different ways. It is a practice, and meditation is the ground zero or the foundation of that practice to rewrite your psyche. Oh, Mariana, thank you so much. I hope to see you again. That's so interesting about listening to my voice. Thank you. I am here. The basic reason I'm here is to say I will be here more often. I'm going to commit to that. I've moved to Queensland. I still have a home in Victoria. I've moved to Queensland due to grief, due to safety, and that's okay. I do online counselling. Type in Simply Book Me is the portal, and my name, Lauren Ostrowski Fenton. If you want to listen to content without ads, then you can do so by drilling into Apple Podcasts. It's $5.99 per month. You can cancel anytime. Some of the questions you ask, I love you all. I choose not to answer out of respect for the people I know in life and what has occurred. Because you see a snippet of who I am. Yes, no, Mark, CBD does not, is not necessarily trauma informed. It is a really useful portal or foundation, but it's important to realize that we do not understand the oh no, that's okay, Jimmy, that's okay. We don't understand the journey of trauma. Only the person experiencing the trauma can have some idea. Yes, trauma-informed care. Selena, I totally agree. So I can see that we need a discussion about trauma. So I might do that at another stage. Research shows that only the person experiencing the trauma truly knows the journey and the process through trauma. Research indicates that we never move through trauma completely. But we also know that we're a new person in each and every moment. We are reborn, and in order to be reborn as a wiser, more intuitive soul, we need to shed, like a lizard, that skin, shed that skin, come out of our chrysalis as a butterfly. I think that I will go in a moment. I'm going to commit to doing this more often. I'd like to listen to your requests. It is not possible to respond to your comments. I have attempted to do so and I can't keep up, so I need to be realistic about that. Mark, thank you. Thank you for that comment. I'll take on board to talk more about trauma-informed care. One of the points to remember also is that when we talk about our pain, the body cannot differentiate between talking about pain and experiencing pain. So when we talk about our pain, we relive it, we are heightened. I'm not saying that's not okay. That's not what I'm saying. It is important to choose when to speak about your pain and consider the paradigm in which you speak about pain. Thank you, Jenny, and I really appreciate, Jenny, all your comments. I'm mindful that I'm in front of hundreds and thousands of people here, so I'm mindful of that. Let's take a moment to just sit in the present and breathe and relax our shoulders, rotate our shoulders back. I thank the universe for this moment. I thank God for this moment together as a community, sharing, engaging, considering life. Thank you, Selena. Relax your body, let your body go, being aware of the moment, focusing on the moment, and letting what is just be. Know that you are a new person in each moment, and that is okay. Know that shedding the skin of the past is a process. Forgive yourself your journey. Be kind to yourself. Kindness is the foundation to the development of wisdom. We learn to grow through grief, but it's important we do not become or define ourselves by grief. I love you all. I commit to being here more. Remember, simply book me, my online counselling. Remember, ad-free content on Apple Podcasts, drill into Apple only. Sleep meditation with Lauren Ostrowski Fenton. I care about all of you. Thank you so much for your time. I will go out and enjoy the sun today. I am grateful for all your questions. I'm grateful for your interest. I'm grateful for your concern. You take care of yourself.